I have got to share my Lowe's find with you. This is something I've been wanting for a very long time, and now I have one. And it is a KitchenAid stand mixer. My mom had one of these and she absolutely loved it and used it all the time. And so now I have one. Let's see, how do I? Try it this way. Here we go. So as you can see, I have got a KitchenAid tilt head stand mixer, and it's something that I've been wanting, and I see so many people using these, and I've been just using a little old hand mixer. And now I'm going to up my game with this KitchenAid stand mixer. So on top, I've got just a little thank you flyer with all the different kinds of KitchenAids that are possible, and then it also shows the 10 different accessory tools that I can get for that. Well, one thing is for sure, they pack it very, very well. A little card inside that says hand wash only. They do not intend for this to get damaged in transit. So what do I find inside? I find a user's manual that tells all about this particular KitchenAid stand mixer. It's the K45 series. And I got the shiny black one. Here's one of the blades. Here's another one of the blades. Not sure what this is yet. We'll find out. So here's one of the blades. So looking at the box, it says there's over 10 attachments available, but let's see what's supposed to be inside here. This is the Onyx Black. Okay, so now let's take a look at what comes with my new KitchenAid stand mixer. First of all, I've got a 5-quart mixing bowl. And look how pretty and shiny it is. Let's see how long I can keep it that way. But looking at this bowl, there are some little indentations on the bowl as well as here on the stand that allows me to lock the bowl in place so that it doesn't move. And I'm one of those people that like to hang on to the bowl when I'm working with it. So I'm going to enjoy this. And then this is the coated flat beater. This is a coated or vinyl dough hook, and then this is the whisker, and it's about 6 inches. When you take a look at the attachments, there's a little notch here on the base, and then there is a little knob sticking out there. And what you do is you just line this up with the notch, push it on, and then give it a twist. And when you do that, then that locks the attachment in place. And they all have the same capability. Again, you're just going to give it a twist, and you can see where it's locked in place now. And the same thing goes with the dough hook. Again, so now we're going to take it off, and then this is the pour shield. We'll figure out what to do with this in just a minute. When we take a look at this side, we've got this knob here, which will either lock it in place so that the head doesn't move up and down, or we can unlock it, and then this allows it to tilt. That way, once you get your attachment on, get your bowl in place, you can lower it into your bowl and then lock it in place so that it doesn't lift, or again, unlock it, lift it up, and then you've got access to the interior so that you can add whatever ingredients you feel like you need to add. Now let's turn it around and look at the other side. It's got 10 speeds that go from 0 to 1, 2, all the way up to 10. And in case you were wondering what this allows you to add some of the other attachments. This comes out, and then you're able to put some other attachment in here that can allow you to make pasta, to do some grain grinding and different things like that. So you can order extra attachments to go along with your KitchenAid. So this is the pouring shield, and you put it on the bowl. So apparently you have to put the beater on first, lower the head, then you can attach the pouring shield to the bowl, and this allows you access to the bowl to pour in whatever ingredients you need to without having to lift the head up. So I'm going to lock it in place. Pouring shield's on. I'm going to turn it to 1. There you go. Turn that off. I need to add some other ingredient. I can put it in there. And there you go. I am really excited about my new KitchenAid stand mixer. I can just see myself making all kind of goodies for my family. And the first thing I'm going to make is some apple bread. I mean, after all, it's apple season. So the first thing I did was wash up my attachments, and they washed up with soap and water quite easily. You can put them in the dishwasher as well. The mixer itself, you would just wipe down with a wet cloth. And then you want to make sure that the accessories are dried carefully before you put them away. So now I'm ready to make the apple walnut bread, and the first thing I do is give my apples a good scrub. I'm using a fruit wash that I made with vinegar and water. And probably the hardest part about this whole process is peeling and coring the apples. And I only had 3 apples to peel and core, so it really wasn't that bad. And I love this OXO vegetable peeler. It just makes it so easy. And then I sliced the apples up into 8 sections. Then I remove the cores and make sure that all the peeling is off of the apples, because nobody wants to get peeling or seed in their apple bread. And I save these apple scraps so that I can make apple jelly later. And because I've been handling the apples, I do like to give them a good rinse before I chop them. One of the things I like to do is clean as I go, so when I can, I'll wash up whatever equipment I've been using and get that out of my way. You can use 2 8.5 by 4.5 inch loaf pans, but I wanted to put my apple walnut bread in a tube pan. I just like the way it looks, and I like the way it comes out when I bake in a tube pan. However, when you use a tube pan, it is important that you grease it and flour it well. To get started making the bread, I need 3 cups of all-purpose flour, 1 teaspoon of baking soda, 1 teaspoon of salt. I also needed a cup of chopped walnuts. You can use pecans if you like, but I had a bag of walnut pieces in the fridge that I needed to use up. Then I mixed my dry ingredients together, and those dry ingredients included the flour, the baking soda, the salt, the walnuts, and 3 cups of chopped apples. Now it's time to turn my mixer on, and I was really excited. Since I just wanted it to mix at a slow speed, I set it on 2. And once or twice during the mixing process, you might need to scrape your bowl. If so, you want to make sure to turn the mixer off, unlock it, raise the tilt head, and then scrape it as needed. And then when you're ready to resume mixing, you're going to put the head back in place, lock it, and then set it to the speed that you want to use. And since this stand mixer is new to me, I am being very careful to follow the instructions and turn it off when I need to manipulate the attachments. Now it's time to get my wet ingredients ready. And those wet ingredients include 3 eggs beaten, 3 cups of sugar, 1 cup of vegetable oil, and I add the beaten eggs to the sugar and the oil, and then add in 2 teaspoons of ground cinnamon. I start out giving that a good whisk, and then I switch over to a wooden spoon so that I can give it a good stir. Now it's time to pour my wet ingredients down the chute. And I was really kind of intrigued the way it just went down the little chute nice and neatly. I didn't have any spills or splatters. It was really kind of cool. And once again, I'm going to turn my mixer on, and I'm using the second speed because I just want to mix it thoroughly. My batter is mixed, so now I'm ready to pour it in my tube pan. Before I do that, I unplug the mixer, and then I remove my beater, and then I set the mixer out of my way so that I have room to pour the batter into my tube pan. And notice I'm rotating the pan so that I'm evenly distributing the batter in the pan. Now it's time to pop it in the oven at 300 degrees Fahrenheit for about 90 minutes. After about 85 minutes, I checked it. I just kind of pressed it down in the center just to see if it popped back up. And it wasn't quite ready, so I let it bake for about 5 more minutes. This time I'm checking it with a toothpick. The toothpick inserted in the cake should come out clean. So I do that once on each side of the bread. The toothpick is clean, so I can take the bread out of the oven. And here I am pressing it again. I don't know, I'm just old school. I like to do that. I let it cool in the pan for about 10 minutes. Then I take a butter knife and run it around the outside edge just to make sure it's loosened up. And then I also run it around the inside edge on that tube. And you want to make sure you do let it cool those 10 minutes, because if it's too hot, when you flip it, a lot of the cake might be clinging to the tube, and you don't want that to happen. Now that's what I'm talking about. This apple walnut bread looks absolutely amazing, and it is the first thing I've made with my new KitchenAid Artisan mixer, I should say. I hadn't planned to cut it just yet. I was going to let it cool just a little bit longer, but my husband wants a piece like now. So I'm going to go ahead and serve him a piece, but take a look at the inside. Look at there. So it looks really good. It's nice and moist, but it is cooked all the way through. I baked it at 300 degrees Fahrenheit for about 90 minutes, and it's looking good. So now let me give that a little taste. It's delicious, and it's not too sweet, so it'll be perfect in the morning with tea, coffee, or hot chocolate. Now, I absolutely loved using my KitchenAid stand mixer. It just made making this apple walnut bread so easy. I didn't have to stand there for a long time with the hand mixer in my hand going round and round and round. It was just so nice and easy to use. So I will be trying it out again very soon, but this Lowe's find was absolutely amazing. Next, join me in this video where I show you how to make delicious, budget-friendly meals your family will love.